trying to help Morgan get out of this writing rut. He hasn't written anything for a while. If I understand, he's having problems in his household and, financial problems and stuff, so he hasn't been able to stay in a high gear of writing. And I feel bad for him. I've been there. It took me a long time to develop coping mechanisms for that. To just write, and get it over with. But, I've been Morgan's mentor since 2009. You know, I taught him how to tighten up his dialogue and make it sound more natural. Because, he's got good ideas and he's very solid in description, but his dialogue back then was very clunky. It didn't sound like how a person talked and everything. Which is ironic because in the heroes community, everybody was like, "Oh, Mike Edwards has bendicitis." There's smarty comeback type dialogue. He says "whatcha" and whatever. Grown out of that, my dialogue is different now. And I remember people told Morgan not to look to me to a mentor, but we were working together on a fan fiction project, working on our fan fiction series of the Avengers for a site called Marvel Lab. And I learned, and great thing about it was I learned a lot from him. And being descriptive and selling, the scene, because that's one thing that's always I've had a problem with is being confident in my description abilities. It's why I've kind of had comic work take the back seat because, one artist will say, "Oh, you're too descriptive," another artist will say you're not descriptive enough, and so by taking a back seat and just being, just following artists and writers, and maybe I'll learn more, and then I can approach comics again when I have a better handle on it. But, Morgan's a good guy. He has issues writing, like, gruesome violence, rape, stuff like that. And I told him, I said, I had that problem too, like, I couldn't even write sex scenes because, I have no experience. And also, I was very shy about it, right? I don't know how many times I had to, rewrite a scene and stuff, and then I was just like, well, let me just try and write it. And eventually I got the hang of it, and, got easier. Yeah. Pardon me. All you can do is, one thing I do is I picture for a moment that, for just to role play it so it comes out naturally, that I'm the lead character and a girl or a woman, I should say, that I like and crush on is the female character, and and I use my imagination and some feeling they have to weave it together and make it feel organic, you know. And that's you know helped me you know write that stuff. And you know I've read books, or, you know, I mean I think some of Orson Scott Card's books had you know found sex scenes, but I might be misremembering. It might have been a different creator. I don't know. But you know, violence I've never had trouble describing because it's you know, I mean, who hasn't gotten mad and been like, oh, I wish I knocked that guy out or what, you know. And I think that's why my people have told me, you know, man, besides your dialogue and kicking ass, you know, you write great action scenes. Like, well, you know, there have been many times I wanted to punch somebody in the mouth, you know, but I don't, you know. And you know, I've told writers who've argued with me because they're, you know, all about style or substance, you know, the Chuck Palahniuk fans and Kurt Vonnegut fans and whatnot. They're like, oh no, that doesn't work. I'm like, well, for me it does. I channel my emotion to it, and that gives it believability. You know, if you want to do that Vonnegut and Palahniuk, what the fuckery stuff, just do it, you know, but don't tell me how to write. I know how to write. I've been at this since 2001, you know. I'm going on 13 years. Yeah, it's been 13 years I've been writing. You know, I figured out what I'm doing now. You know, some genres I'm not comfortable writing, but you know, all you can do is do it. Not, you know, don't bother worrying about it. And that's one thing I always had a problem with is I'd worry about it. And then that will clog up the creative process. You know. But I think I got a handle on it. I just hope I can get help Morgan get over this hump. But there's limits to what you can do, you know. I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're just in a truly rotten, awful mood, you know, severely depressed, you don't want to write anything. It's a shame. What can you do? Yeah, that's what's going on today. And it's very cold out, so everybody dress warmly. Bye.